everybody. We'll get started here in just a minute. Hopefully you can see me and hear me. The lighting was a little funky, but I think I worked it out. Animals are getting interested in what's happening, so we might have some animal action. But anyway, got about a minute to go before noon, so I don't want to get started early. I'm always the person who comes late. It's actually noon right now. So, all right, yay. My name is Dr. Debbie Pates, and I am a psychologist at the University of Colorado Springs Wellness Center. And for a number of years, I have been offering yoga at noon on Wednesdays, and recently we've been able to do it through, in collaboration with the Gallery of Contemporary Arts on campus. Now that we're at COVID and Goka is closed indefinitely, we're going to be doing it like this for the foreseeable future. With one caveat, next week I'm going to take Wednesday off. So I will post this on my page as well. But if you have been joining me on Wednesdays, first of all, thank you. I appreciate that, and I love being able to offer this. But if you have been joining me on Wednesdays, then next week, Wednesday at noon, if you want to continue your yoga practice, then maybe watch. You can. I know that on my Facebook page, there's you can just scroll down and you can replay any of these. You can also go to my YouTube channel, very creatively also entitled Dr. Debbie Pates. So if you found this, you can find that. And there's all of these videos and other stuff that I've uploaded. I haven't actually branched out besides for doing this in a while, but there's some meditations and some shorter yoga flows there if you haven't checked that out. And of course, as you already know, I'm hardly the only person offering yoga online. There's a number of wonderful yoga studios in town. I have no idea if they offer Wednesday noon yoga because that's not what I would have been checking out. But there's plenty of other studios in town. There's plenty of other really great people online, and I can offer a suggestion or two of where you might go as well. So anyway, that's all I have to say to get started. So next Wednesday, I won't be here. I'll remind you guys of that at the ending. But in the meantime, let's get started. So come on into child's pose if you haven't gotten there already. Separate your knees wide or keep your knees together, whichever is more comfortable to you. Whichever leg position you pick, let your head rest on the ground. Begin to take deep breaths. If possible, in and out through your nose. Our bodies have a natural filtration system set up if you breathe in and out through your nose, but don't worry about that if mouth breathing is more accessible or comfortable for you. Wherever you are, breathe. And allow the breath to help you come into the space of yoga. Creating a separation between whatever it is that you've been doing and doing this. And I think that's especially important if where you're doing this practice is very similar to where you are living, right? And maybe, like for me, I set up this space, and it feels different when I come into my yoga practice than when I use this space as my living room, but it is the same space, so there needs to be a little bit of a deliberate switch. So allow yourself to make that shift. noticing your breath, noticing your body. How is your body showing up today? And how can you honor what's showing up today for your body? And how can you honor that what you think right now about the way your body's showing up may not in fact be what comes to fruition as we move through the practice. So just allowing, right, this to be an exploration, an inquiry, moment to moment as we go through the practice. Push up onto your hands and knees, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and start to move through some cat-cows or whatever iteration of these postures work for you. So perhaps introducing other movements, right? If you go to a yoga class, sometimes they'll talk about sahaj or sahaja movements, and what that is what your body feels like doing. Your body feels like doing intuitive movements. I'm not sure what the actual translation is, but that's the gist of it. So if you want to, go side to side or back and forth, just beginning to tap out your feet. That got my dog's attention. And then come on back to a neutral spine and make your way to downward facing dog. Tucking your toes, lifting your hips, and when you find your way to dog, adjust your hands and feet to be optimal distance for you. Sometimes you might want to shift forward into plank and see that your hands are underneath your shoulders here, your heels are pressing back, and then lift your hips. And for a lot of us, that's a nice down dog distance. And if you like it shorter, feet in more, hands in more, or wider, whatever works for you, making this practice your own. And perhaps you want to experiment with what you like today. But being in your dog, maybe pedaling it out, bending one knee, letting the opposite heel sink, and then switching, beginning to open up through the calves, especially doing that pedaling bit. And then come back to stillness in your dog if you've been moving around. And if there's some shake, letting the shake be. Not needing to be reactive, right? So throughout our practice, experimenting with stepping out of reactivity and just noticing. Isn't that interesting? So maybe when you start to shake, or maybe when you drop your knees and modify a posture, or maybe when you say, oh God, there I go criticizing myself, and I know better than that. I shouldn't criticize myself. I'm bad because I'm criticizing myself. And then you catch yourself, you just go, isn't that interesting? There I go again. Isn't that interesting? And you stop. Baby steps to the top of your mat, hanging ragdoll. Feet about hip width distance. Maybe find some sway back and forth. Maybe bend your elbows and put your hands in opposite elbow or clasp opposite elbow, whatever you like better. Let your head be heavy. And then roll up to standing. When you get to standing, as always, roll your shoulders up and back and down. Maybe do that a few times. Maybe roll your neck around. Maybe wiggle a little bit, whatever feels good to you. And then come on back to a tall stance. And first stand here before we start to flow. I'm going to flow for a little bit. Don't freak out. You can always take it down. But first, stand here and breathe. Lift your kneecaps, engage your quadriceps. Imagine somebody's gently kind of You can do it yourself. Put your hands on your rib cage and just lift a little without hunching your shoulders. And then continue lifting through the crown of your head, rooting down in your lower body to rise. Get as much length in between your vertebra, and your spine, and your body. Space for new possibilities. And compassion. Space for compassion for whatever shows up for you. Campus is getting ready to open back up again, and that's bringing up a lot of stuff for a lot of people, and that's real. We don't have to pretend we don't feel what we feel, because we feel it anyway. So let it be, and be kind to yourself, and recognize that this is what we're dealing with, and so it is. Let's go. Inhale your arms up. Uttanasana, fold, hands to heart center, or swan dive, come down with a flat back, halfway lift, lengthen your spine, head is tucked, put your hands down on the ground, step back, high plank position, exhale, lower, halfway or all the way, chaturanga, or laying on the floor, upward facing dog, or cobra, pull your shoulders back and your heart through. Lift your hips, roll over your toes, downward facing dog. Breathe. Moving through the body, moving through the flow, moving through whatever shows up for you, allowing it to be there and then to pass in between your hands. Your gaze goes, then your feet go there. Halfway lift, lengthen, fold, and rise. Sweep up with a flat back. Bring your hands together over your head and pull your energy into your heart, and then sweep your arms back up. Fold again, Uttanasana, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, or in Sanskrit, actually it's halfway forward fold. And then fold, hands down, high plank, lower, inhale, rise, heart through, exhale, downward facing dog, inhale and exhale, inhale, look in between your hands and make your way to the top of your space again, halfway lift, fold, rise, hands together overhead, pull the juice into your heart and rise your arms again and fold, halfway up, step back, high plank, make your way to downward facing dog, sun salutation, egg. Look in between your hands and make your way to the top of your mat. 2 more times through sun A, half lift, fold, sweep up, hands together overhead, pull your hands into your heart, lift your hands up, fold, fold, half lift, high plank, low plank, up dog, down dog, inhale, let it go. Inhale, empty out, top of your mat, half lift, fold, rise, hands to your heart, last time, inhale, fold, warming up, half lift, high plank to low, upward facing or cobra, downward facing dog. And take a few breaths here. Let your heels sink toward the floor. They don't have to touch. But put some energy in there. Notice the stretch you get through the backs of your legs. Maybe push the backs of your knees away. Maybe roll your inner thighs up toward the ceiling. Maybe roll your forearms toward each other, but your biceps up. Maybe pull your navel toward your spine. Maybe ignore everything I just said and be in down dog and be present. Sometimes those cues are just reminders for you to be present anyway, right? If you're thinking about what your biceps are doing, you're not thinking about, that. Look in between your hands and step to the top of your space. Half lift. Fold. Sweep all the way up to a standing position. Bring your hands overhead. Bring them together. Pull it in to your heart. Utkatasana chair. Inhale your arms up. And exhale as you sink. Chair pose. Breathe. Moving into Sun B, fold, fold. And grow this slow halfway lift. Step back, high plank. Halfway or all the way down. Keep your elbows by your sides. Up, dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward and drop your back knee. If you need to cushion, you can just take the corner of your mat and roll it over. Have your heel and knee lined up on your right leg there. And then come on up to crescent moon. Lift your arms up, biceps by your ears, and sink into your right knee. So that you're really getting a juicy opening through the left front of your leg, hip flexor, maybe even into your psoas. Kind of a deep stomach muscle. Reach up, even as you sink, maybe even if it feels good, reach back, arcing your body. Crescent moon pose. Come on back down with your hands on top of your mat, top your back toes. Lift your back knee and spin your back foot flat. Windmill, your arms up, warrior two. Hold warrior two. Your right arm is reaching forward and perhaps your gaze is over your right fingers. Your left arm is reaching back. Your right knee tracks over, well, it doesn't do it automatically, you have to. Track it over your pinky toe so that you're opening up your inner thigh there. And then reach forward with your knee bent and tilt, extended side angle. Your left arm can come up. Your left arm can go over. Your left ear, bicep by your ear, palm facing the floor, whatever you like, who cares? Just pick a posture that feels good, where you can breathe. Reach, wherever you are, reach. Reach with your fingers, reach with your attitude, and then reverse your warrior. Keep your right knee bent. Left arm can come behind your body or down your left leg. Right arm reaches behind you, away from your right knee. Gaze is up or down or wherever feels good for your neck. And then windmill down to your mat. Step back, high plank, and make your way to downward facing dog. So perhaps you just lift your hips, or you go through the vinyasa. Hold down dog. Notice your breath. Notice any shift in this dog from the ones you've done before. And let's move on to the other side. Step your left foot forward. Drop your right knee. Pad your mat if you need to. Get your heel under your knee, crescent moon. Sinking into your front knee, allowing the front of your right leg to open and perhaps leaning back a little. Crescent moon. It's not about looking like a perfect crescent moon. It's about approximating the shape in your body. We aren't moons. We don't look like the moon. That's silly. Come on back down. Spin your back foot flat and rise up to warrior two on this side. This time your left arm is reaching forward. Your left knee is tracking out toward your left pinky toe. Then bend that left knee up to 90 degrees, toward 90 degrees. But be kind to your body. If you have been bike riding or hiking a lot, your thighs might be tired. Reach forward, reach. Let the reach be an action in and of itself. And then you tilt, extended side angle. Allow the bottom arm to help rotate your heart open. Breathe. Even if your breath speeds up, breathe. Maybe bicep by your ear, reaching your right arm forward, palm down. Letting your body open in the postures. Reverse your warrior. Keep your left knee bent. Perhaps you slither your right hand behind your back. Keep your left knee bent. Reach your left arm back. Reach up from your waist with your rib cage. Rebend your knee. Take it down. Chaturanga, if you would like, or the floor. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Send breath through your body, filling up and releasing your lungs, filling up and emptying, your lungs. Head is heavy, maybe shake your head around, maybe in dog, you lift your head up, and bring your chin down. Just feel, and then find a neutral spot where it feels it's just right, not too much, not too little. Look in between your hands and make your way to the top of your space. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Sweep your arms up, rise with a flat back. Bring your hands together overhead. Bring your hands into your heart. Inhale your arms up. Chair. Fold. Halfway lift. Step back, high plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Step your right foot through, and choices here. You could drop your back knee and come onto your back toes and come to crescent moon again. You can stay on your toes and come into crescent lunge, or come into crescent moon and keeping your toenail part of your foot on the mat, lift up your knee. 3 options. You pick what you want to do. No one knows except you what's right for you today. And wherever you are, transition this into warrior 2, extended, reverse, chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Adho. Mukha Svanasana, step your left foot forward. Drop your right knee or don't drop your right knee. Crescent moon, crescent lunge, crescent moon knee up variation. Breathe. Whichever one you picked, Pick the one that's right for you today. And it feels good in your body. But put your mind in the right space. And then make your way to warrior two. Extended side angle. Reverse warrior. And back down. Doesn't last long. Get it while you can. Make your way to the downward facing dog. And then drop your knees. Virasana Hero's Pose. Separate your feet wider than your hips and take the version that works best for you. We've done this pose plenty of times, so you know how to do this. And hopefully, what you're getting better at isn't the posture, but the acceptance of where your body needs to be today. You're laying all the way down with your knees also on the floor. You're laying all the way down, then maybe you clasp your elbows behind you on the floor. Maybe. Opening up again through the front side of the body in a different way, a more intense way. Maybe that intensity is showing up for you. You can push your body a little bit harder, not to the point of damage, right? But it's okay to push a little bit. But can you do that with equanimity? Can you push while keeping your deep breath? Can you practice on the mat skills that are going to actually help you in real life? Breathing through difficult times, and God knows. We got plenty of difficult times right now. Come on up if you're all the way on your back, up on your elbows, and then crawling from whatever position onto your hands and knees. Maybe a cat-cow or a wiggle. And then come on into a seated position. I want to do a little bit of core work. Baron Baptiste, who's one of my most formative teachers, loves Navasana, boat pose. Personally, I hate it. That's why I almost never teach it, but we're going to do boat right now. So to get into boat, let's start with bend your knees and put your feet flat on the ground. Sit up as straight as you can. Bring your hands behind you. And roll your shoulders up and back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Bring your knees together. And then walk your hands back a little bit. Walk your hands back enough that you feel your stomach muscles begin to engage. Okay. You could stay here. This is absolutely fine. You're getting the work. You're starting to get the work done. If you want to take it further, you can lift your feet off the ground. I don't have the hamstring flexibility to straighten my knees here, but some of you guys probably do. You can bring your hands behind your knees. Keep your spine lifted. Resist the urge to curve your spine. So lifting up through the heart as if somebody had their hand in between your shoulder blades and was helping you lift. And then if you want, bring your hands out in front of you or maybe even above your head, biceps by your ears, and breathe. Boat pose. Navasana. Ramakrishna, the yogic sage, said, the winds of grace are always flowing, and all we have to do is raise our sails. Raise your sails now. Let the shake happen. Raise your sails. And then lay all the way down on your back. Woo! Breath or two. And then bring your hands, palms down, underneath your butt. So rock, just your arms are extended as long as they'll go. Rock left to right a little bit, not entirely under your butt. And then bring your feet to 90 degrees. And then allow your feet, try to keep the lower back on the ground. And lower your feet about 30 degrees. Breathe. Your feet can be flexed or pointed, but make a choice. Lower your feet another 30 degrees. Reconnect your low back with the ground. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Lower your feet, tap the floor with your heels, and then lift them up an inch. Low back into the ground. Breathe, breathe, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2. Give up on yourself. Lift your feet up to 90. Let's do that one more time. So here at 90, we're taking a break. Break, break, break. Breaks over. Lower at 30 degrees. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower another 30 degrees. 4, 3. Back in the ground. 2, 1. Tap your heels onto the floor. And then lift up an inch. 5, 4. Relax your shoulders. 2, 1. Lay on the ground. We're not in our final Shavasana, but take a breath or two in Shavasana. It's not going to kill you in the middle of practice. My dog just made a groan like, he approved of this. All right, hug your knees into your chest and start to rock back and forth, up and back along your spine, massaging your spine. Let it feel nice. Let it feel good along the back muscles. Maybe it even feels a little bit fun. I like doing this. And then come on up to seated and come on up to standing, 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 standing. Stand up. Nice job. Actually, let's stretch our stomach muscles. So, I messed up. We'll do that in a minute. Actually, let's not do that in a minute. Let's do it now. Just come on down. Sorry about that. Come to plank and lower Sphinx. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, palms flat in front of you. Roll your shoulders up and back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and kind of pull your heart forward as you pull your shoulders back, so that almost even your whole stomach might be lifted here. But what you're really looking for is a stretch in your stomach muscles. Sphinx pose. And then come on down. And while we're here, how about this? Arms alongside your body. Turn your head to the left, right here on the mat. Notice how close your chin is to your chest, or your shoulder rather, and maybe lift your chin away, keeping your ear on the mat. We're going to do this a little later in the practice, but we'll just put it in now instead. Lot of tension, a lot of stress. Builds cortisol, which is poison to our bodies. So we actively work to relax, counter the negativity. Bend your knees, bring your head centered. Bow, Dhanurasana. Bow, not boat. Bend your knees, grab your feet from the outside. Bring your knees back to hip width if you need to, and kick and lift. Opening your heart, back bending, moving your spine, lifting your feet up, lifting everything you can. Take 3 more breaths, real breaths, honest breaths. In and out. In and out. One more full inhale and exhale. And when you're done with your breath, release. Turn your head to the other side and do that check again. How close is your chin to your shoulder? And maybe You want to lift your chin away from your shoulder. You might not want to do that. That might not be necessary for you or doable for you, and that's fine. So once again, rest. Thank you, neck. Thank you, neck, for holding up my head. Thank you, neck, for allowing me to look left and right. Thank you, neck, for containing my swallowing mechanism. Thank you, neck, for being those delicate top vertebra of my back. Even when you hurt, I appreciate you. Bring your head back to center. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Push into child's pose. And then downward facing dog. And if you're thinking, oh man, I just want to stay in child's pose, why don't you? Lift your right leg up. Bring it through low lunge. Crescent lunge, rise. Keep your back knee lifted or not. Bring your hands together at your heart. Hinge forward and twist. Left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Push your knee into your elbow and your elbow into your knee, top hand into your bottom hand. Push your left heel back. Sink your right hip down. And then keep your right hip sinking down. Untwist. Hands to the inside of your right foot. Runner's lunge. Toe heel. Toe heel your right foot toward the top of your mat. Top right corner. And come on down to your degree. Letting your elbows bend on your chest. Sink toward the floor to whatever degree is appropriate for your body. And as we stay in the posture, your body may find new ways that are appropriate. So you shift the shape your body's in to accommodate that. Not pushing your body to be somewhere it doesn't want to be. Accepting, maybe testing. Oh, that feels good, or no, it doesn't. Come on into side plank. So bring your upper body up, and you can keep your left knee on the ground, or, well, you're going to keep it on the ground for a minute. Bring your right leg back. Left knee and left hand on the ground, right arm spins open, and if you want, straighten out your left leg. Stack your feet. Right arm up, you can even allow it to drop open if you want a little bit. Push up through your hips, and then come on down. High plank, low plank, up dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Stay up on your right knee or don't, or on your right toes. Crescent, hands to your heart. Hinge, twist. Find your posture. Find space. Try not to schlump, right? So that's what I'm saying, like with all the push your knee into your hand into your knee, all that stuff. What I don't want you to be doing is collapsing over your leg there. And then release. And come on into runner's lunge. Drop your back knee if it wasn't dropped already. Toe heel your left toes to the top left corner toward. And bring your hand to the inside of your left knee. Both hands. Breathe. There's so much you don't control. There's so much you don't control. But we do control ourselves. And the more awareness we can bring to the different ways we can control ourselves, and I don't mean over control, I don't mean limit, well, sometimes we want to limit maybe how much we eat or drink or whatever. But what I mean is we can become aware of our reactions, our reactivity. We can decide, how does that suit me? Right? I mean, maybe returning to campus is creating anxiety for you. So, okay. How do you work with the anxiety that's showing up for you? Being kind to yourself, but also not allowing the anxiety to rule you. We don't control the circumstances around us, but we do control our own reaction to those circumstances. Come on up. Side plank. Left foot comes back and open up onto your left side. Open up your left. Arm rises. Right hand stays on the ground, and you choose, do you want to keep your right knee on the ground, or do you want to stack your feet? Really push up through your left hip. Lift up through the underside of your right body there. These are your, I forget what muscles these are. These are the side of your abdominal muscles. There's a name for them. That's not it. Come on down. Make your way to downward facing dog. So you go through the vinyasa, upper body, or you just lift your hips into down dog. And then from downward facing dog, come to the top of your mat. Check the time here. Halfway lift. Forward fold, bend your knees, Utkatasana chair. Eagle. Right arm under, right leg up and over. Imagine you're leaning against a wall. You can sink down. Your toes can be on the floor next to your shin or behind your shin, behind your calf. Engaging your stomach muscles here is helpful. Squeezing your legs together here is helpful. Some people say sinking lower is helpful for your balance. That's never really helped me that much. And then unwind. Lift up. Other side. Chair. Left arm under. Left leg over. Whatever version of the posture you're doing, your breath is your friend, your constant companion. Stand up. Bring your hands together to your heart. Vrikshasana, tree pose. Shift your weight into your left foot and make a decision how you want to do tree. There's a bunch of versions. Pick the one that's right for you today. Whatever hand position you like. Play around with it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to experiment. Do our best. And honestly, you guys, if you're doing your best, what more can you ask of yourself? Wow. Release and switch sides. Sometimes we're doing our best. We still manage to give ourselves a hard time. So maybe my best today isn't the best I ever want to have. Right? In Gestalt therapy, there's something called your fictional finalism, which is kind of this idea of where you're going to be someday. But just because I have an idea of where I want to be someday, if I'm not there yet, but I'm still doing my best, I'm still doing my best. Give yourselves a break, guys. Okay? Okay? Give yourselves a break. All right. Let's do a little bit more flowing here. Come to the top of your space. Arms up. Fold. Half lift. One more standing sequence. High plank to low. Upward facing dog. To downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up. This time bend your knee, open your hip. You want to flip your dog. You can. Keep going. Bring that leg down to the floor behind you. You can call this wild thing. Wild thing. You make my heart sing. All right, that's enough of me singing. Come on back. Three-legged dog. Bring your right foot through. Spin your left foot flat. Rise to warrior one. First time here today. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in warrior one though. Get it while you can. Warrior two. Straighten your right knee, triangle pose. Trikonasana. So allow, perhaps, you can even use your hands, all right, with that. Roll your ribs open. Have your right hand coming down on your right shin or thigh. You want to both sides of your body as flat as you can, reaching the crown of your head forward and your hips back. And then rise up. Turn your feet parallel. Clasp your hands behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Fold. Let your hands come off your back as high as they will. Maybe even touching the floor overhead. Some people can do it, it's true. And then rise up. Tee your arms out. Warrior two to the front. Flip your right palm. Reverse. And windmill down. High plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up. Bend your knee, open your hip, and if you want, flip the dog. Come on in the wild thing. Make your own heart sing. Make everything groovy. Come on, wild thing, back up to down dog. And step your left foot through. Spin your right foot flat. Warrior one. So land in warrior one. We're not going to be here long, but land. Be here. Even though we're not going to be here long, be here. Warrior two. And straighten your left knee. Reach and triangle. This is one of my favorite postures. This feels good in my body. And there's other postures that feel good in other people's bodies. It's not right or wrong, it's just what feels good in your body. Come on, back up, bend your knee. Oh, no, not yet. Here's what I want to do this time. I want to do Skandasana. So turn your feet out and sink really deeply into your right knee. And you're going to have to wiggle around here to get this right, but let your left heel come off the you can let your right heel come off the floor. Lift up your left toes. What you're doing, whether your right heel's on the ground, however you want to do this, what I want you guys to get, the juicy stretch in your left groin, and then switch sides. Breathe. You can have your hands on the floor like I do, or you can have your hands at heart center, whichever feels nicer for your body. Switch sides again. Same version, different version. Wherever you are, go. Wherever you are, go. Please breathe. Please breathe as you switch sides again. Just getting a nice stretch. So for me, actually, today, I'm getting a better groin stretch with my heel on the ground. So, just play around with it, perhaps. Come back to center. Rise up, warrior two. Reverse. And take it down. Make your way to downward facing dog. That was our last standing sequence for today. In this class, you can do whatever you want. Lay your pigeon. Right knee behind your right wrist. Walk your left knee back if that works for your body. Come on down. And we're going to stay in this for 2 minutes. We're on the clock. I'll give you a warning for 1 minute. Let your head rest. So a lot of times when I'm teaching, I forget to let my head rest because I want my voice to project. And I start to notice it in my neck. If your forehead doesn't hit the ground, stack your fists and put your head on your fists. So again, that cortisol, we don't want to be sending our body a fight or flight or freeze message. We want to be sending our body a message to chill out. Even if this is stressful. Even if this is not the most relaxing posture for you. Don't grit your teeth, or if you are, notice it and stop. 1 minute's up already, a couple 5 seconds ago. Maybe thinking about some of those things we sometimes think about in child's pose, right? Like letting the breath fill up the back of your lungs. Noticing what's showing up for your body, in your body. This is a pretty active class today, so maybe your body's really loving, softening into a posture, so yay, good, let it. And then start to come out of this posture. Make your way to the other side. So however that feels good to you, do it. 2 minutes, pigeon on your left side. Let your head rest. Let your jaw relax. Let your face soften. So we're in the final parts of the practice. Starting to slow down. You're not going to get up off the floor again until practice is over. So soften, heavy, relax. You know what you're doing the rest of the day, but if you're like me, I got to get back up and go to work. Lots of stuff going on. So get it while you can. July always goes too fast. Get it while you can. We're halfway through here. Let the music of the practice be your own breath. In and out through your nose, in and out through your mouth, in and out, in and out. Noticing that maybe your state of mind changed over the course of this practice. Perhaps not just your body softened, perhaps your mind let go of something. And if you're like, oh God, that's right, I let go of that thing. It's okay, you can let it go. You pick it up later. Last few moments in this pose. And then come on up. Shift up all over on your left hip. You just swing your right leg around. And roll down onto your back. And when you get to your back, keep going and come into bridge. I mean plow. Sorry, you could go into bridge if you want, but I meant plow. So lift your hips up and bring your feet toward the floor, overhead, maybe onto the floor. I know I've said this before, but this posture in my body, sometimes my feet are on the floor and I'm sliding them back. Sometimes they're hovering. And I think it has to do with the state of my hamstrings and my neck that day. That's all. It doesn't say anything about who I am as a person. If your hands aren't already on your back, bring them onto your back. Shift some weight into your hands and your elbows and lift your legs up for shoulder stand. And let's take 10 really deep breaths here. I'm going to breathe out through my mouth. That was 1. I'm really just doing that to exaggerate it. 3. 4. 5. 6. Stay with it, you guys. 7. 8. 9. Drop your feet back in the plow. Put your hands on the floor. Roll out of this. Hug your knees in, rock left to right. And then keeping your right knee in, either knee really, take a spinal twist. Your right knee is in. Your right arm is teed out and you're looking right, but your right knee is across your body. Center. Switch. Come back to center. You can hug both knees in if you want, or just release. This time it is Shavasana final resting pose. Maybe lift up your chest a little and walk your shoulder blades together and then let your body come down again. Sometimes that'll make your arms go further away from your body. The winds of grace are always blowing. And all we have to do is raise ourselves. There's a story about a guy who was drowning. And he prayed, hey, God, I've been a really good person. I've always worshipped you, blah, blah, blah. Send me a sign. Save me, God. Save me from drowning. And as this guy's praying, a boat goes by, and the guy says, hey, buddy, I got a life raft here. You want me to throw it to you? No, thanks. I'm praying to God here. I got this. Guy keeps drowning. God, pray to save me. And a helicopter goes over, and the helicopter through the megaphone, hey, guy drowning down there, do you want me to save you? And the guy says, God's going to save me. And I don't know what the third one is, but some third thing goes by, and the guy says the same thing. And then, of course, the guy drowns. And when the guy goes up to heaven and meets God, he says, hey, God, I was always a good person and worshipped you, and I did good things, and I gave to charity, and I was dying, and I asked you to send me a sign. Why didn't you save me? And God said, I tried to save you 3 different times. Why didn't you save yourself? The winds of grace are always blowing, but we need to raise our sails. In Kabbalistic Judaism, there's a belief that God created the world, but left a piece of it unfinished. And it is up to us to be God's partner to finish creation of the world. In Judaism, we call that tikkun olam. So we need to be participants as well. Raise your sails. Start to bring movement back into your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes. And in whatever way feels good to you, make your way to seated. And I encourage you for a moment to stay seated and come to a space of gratitude. Stay in a space of gratitude for as long as you possibly can, including when you get off the mat. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, next week I'm not going to be live, but I'll be back the first week in August. Namaste. Thank you for joining. As always, questions, comments are welcome. Thank you.